Alright, so I've been knee deep in this thing's guts all day, and even though it didn't work, I think I know what the next step is. I've been meaning to replace all of these electrolytic capacitors, and I think that those might be why the fuse keeps blowing. These things go bad after a few decades. This was on my to-do list anyway, I was just being lazy, so now I have no excuse. So what I've done is I've taken it apart, and I'm going through and I'm writing a spreadsheet of all of the electrolytic capacitors in this unit, and then what I'll do is I'll put in an order on Mouser or something for all of the electrolytic capacitors that we can then do a full recap of this thing, and then hopefully that will work. Fingers crossed, right? We do have stuff to do in the meantime though, because I have just now for the first time successfully removed one of the modules from the unit. It's actually really cool how this is all modular. Each section just comes apart by itself, so you can work on each section individually, which is a really cool feature. So this is the master module, and I've taken it out, and we're going to do some of our de-rusting process on it, because, I mean, Jesus Christ. Especially, something I noticed was the rust here on this component. I'm actually not quite sure what this does. It looks like it controls the idler wheel, but it's really stiff. While we wait for the capacitors to arrive, I'm going to try and get my head around this mechanism and clean it while I go. And then we should be ready, once the capacitors arrive, to recap the machine and then try with our remaining 3 fuses to get it working. I really hope that that's the problem. But as I think you'll know by now, these projects often do this thing where they jump from thing to thing, you know. First of all, you think it's this thing, and then you fix that, and it's not it, and then you just keep on going and going and going, and eventually, although it doesn't feel like it, eventually you will fix it. The great thing about a machine like this is that there's a finite number of things that can be wrong with it. So we just have to keep chipping away. The reason why I think it's the capacitors, first of all, it's something that needs to be done anyway. On a piece of vintage gear, you have to replace the electrolytic capacitors because they just spoil after a while. But the other thing is that I checked for a short on the power line, and there is no short circuit there, which suggests to me that maybe there's an electrolytic capacitor in here that's responsible for regulating the power somehow, and it's overdriving or over volting or whatever that fuse and causing it to trip. So again, we just have to recap the machine to rule out that that's what's happening. And if that isn't it, then I truly have no idea, but we'll figure it out.